Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. It's Professor Walnut, and today I've got for you the Week 2 match in the Georgia VGC Draft League. My opponent this time is Bruneaux, the man who made the Draft League itself. And yeah, for the first time in I feel a while, I don't have a whole lot more to say here, aside from most likely the two videos this week for Wednesday and Sunday will both be Draft League matches, as it seems like I have my Week 3 match coming up on Thursday, the day after this video is going out. As always, subscribe if you're new here and leave a like on the video. It really helps support the channel, and leave a comment below. I've been thinking about the content on my channel, and I was wondering if y'all could see more videos but with fewer battles. Would you enjoy that more, or are you enjoying the 2 videos a week format with longer matches? So the answers to that question down in the comments will be very helpful, and I will use those to figure out what I want to do next. Alright, all that said, let's go ahead and get into this week's breakdown. Here we are with my opponent's team, the Gigantamax Blastoise there prominently in the back, as well as Ferrothorn, Togetic, Dragapult, Centiskorch, Mimikyu, Phalanx, Luxray, Glastrier, Liepard, Hatterene, and Indeedee Male. I think my opponent's team is really interesting. It obviously heavily leans into Trick Room, but it does have a potential speedier mode with Dragapult and Togekiss. Notable major threats here would be Glastrier under Trick Room has the potential to snowball like crazy. Hatterene and Indeedee both can just spam psychic moves. Thankfully we've got the Dark-type Galarian Moltres to stop that from being too impactful, but I never want to underestimate the damage potential of an Indeedee Male. Also notable, they've got the not quite guaranteed, but nearly guaranteed Trick Room setup of max guarding Hatterene and using Copycat with Liepard to get a priority Trick Room off. Mind you, Fake Out messes with that quite a bit, but it doesn't quite as easily cover Mimikyu. However, we are uniquely insulated against both of these options, and I will talk about that in the team breakdown coming up soon. Final note, I just want to say there are definitely some options here for Registeel. However, I think it still is a strong bring here. This week I did do a similar thing as I did last week, but instead of just writing down what I thought was likely that they would bring and also trying to notate what I was going to bring myself, I decided that as well as that, I would list speed and abilities. And the segment there on the bottom right talks about what Pokemon that I have can cancel out or invalidate any of my opponent's Pokemon. So I've listed Dragapult and Togekiss as likely, and I feel like I'm the most worried about them personally. I've also listed Ferrothorn, Indeedee, Glastrier, and Hatterene as likely because I felt like my opponent would lead into a Trick Room mode. Meanwhile, Gmax, Blastoise, Mimikyu, and Luxray I've all marked as possible because I feel like they all have applications into my team. Also, Mimikyu just gives you extra options, right, to set up Trick Room. I won't go into much individual detail here, but I also listed which abilities that they have that I felt would be the most likely to face, like what could most mess with my team. For example, Gmax Blastoise, I feel like Torrent is much more useful than Rain Dish because Rain is not really a consideration between either of our teams. Basically, all of this is here for my reference, but since y'all are here, I kind of wanted to show off some of my planning and how it's improved between this week and last. Here we have the team for this week, and because I left them out of the breakdowns coming up here in a minute, I'm going to talk about the items and move choices. For Dracozolt, I'm using a pretty standard sweeper set with a life orb for extra damage and hustle, and the only quirk here is taunt, as I figured that I wanted both Fake Out on one side and Taunt on the other side for potential disruption of Trick Room, so I couldn't just run Rillaboom with both Fake Out and Taunt and have no other Taunter. Moltres is extremely straightforward. It's got Nasty Plot for redirection setup and also Weakness Policy for a surprise burst of damage. I'm particularly proud of the Entei set. It's running a Focus Sash, so it can't be one shot, and then it has Roar for Trick Room disruption as well, Helping Hand, Snarl, and Sacred Fire. Snarl, of course, helps reduce the damage from special attacking moves, and Sacred Fire can burn for the physical attackers. Very supportive set here. Next, we have a very similar set on Togetic compared to what we had last week, holding Eviolite, I noticed that it has Hustle, but its ability here does not really matter. And we're running Follow Me, Helping Hand, Protect, and Yawn. The Yawn there is to put pressure on Pokemon when they do set up Trick Room. Rillaboom is significantly different from last week because this time we're not going with a Choice Band. This time we're going with a Koba Berry, and that's because I'm very concerned about Togekiss and I would like it to be able to survive a hit. Likewise, we've got U-Turn for repositioning this time around, Fake Out, and Grassy Glide, of course. And finally, we've got Registeel here with a Iron Defense Body Press set, which probably is going to be the set that I always run it with. This time around, though, I went with Iron Head, and I did actually talk about that in the breakdown coming up, so you'll hear my thoughts there. Okay, now to talk in depth on each Pokemon. An important note to make for this week, I have made my first trade. I've given up Weezing. Thank you for your service. I never actually used you. And we've got Dracozolt, and I will talk more about why in the team breakdown. First up, we'll start with Galarian Moltres. So when I was thinking about the team, I was thinking about the Indeedee Hatterene lead, and obviously Galarian Moltres has spread Dark-type damage that can also flinch, so it was incredibly useful there. I gave it a weakness policy as a burst of damage, and Berserk activating as well helps out with that. This Galarian Moltres is EV'd specifically to take just over 50% from Dazzling Gleam at minimum from Hatterene, which will activate Berserk. It's EV'd to outspeed Togekiss and everything's slower. I was basically just looking at the speed tiers on the teams and figuring out what I could and couldn't outspeed, and the most relevant things seemed to be Togekiss. At +1, after max Airstream or something along those lines, it will outspeed everything. As for EVs, I've just put full special attack after the speed EVs to outspeed Togekiss and dump the remaining amount into HP. Thankfully, that got me exactly where I needed to go for the Dazzling Gleam proc from Hatterene. And here we are. We made this trade specifically for this week because Dracozolt can lead with Togetic to counter the Dragapult Togekiss potential lead that I had said I was worried about. Likewise, it'll always KO Blastoise, although it can't outspeed max speed Blastoise, which is notable, but if they set up Trick Room, then we could very likely be slower than it. It does outspeed everything except for Dragapult at +1, so if you can max it and get an Airstream off, then we can start hammering in KOs with its extreme attack power. Likewise, as we are still worried about Indeedee Psychic Terrain, we can act as additional terrain control with Max Lightning. Next up, let's talk about Entei. I ran it with a more supportive set. Obviously, it still has Sacred Fire for burns and dealing with Ferrothorn, as well as Glastrier, but I gave it Snarl for some spread chip damage, but more importantly, the reduction of damage from Hatterene and Indeedee again, as well as reducing, say, Togekiss's damage. Now, I also opted to give it Roar as an anti-Trick Room tech and general strategy disruption. Likewise, it's got Helping Hand, because that's always a nice damage booster, especially if Entei is about to be KO'd. And it's got exactly enough attack to KO a full bulk Ferrothorn with Sacred Fire. And it's got enough speed to outspeed Mimikyu. Again, this was me looking at the speed tiers of the opposing team and figuring out what I could and could not outspeed and picking out what seemed the most relevant. Outspeeding Mimikyu is helpful just to be able to guarantee that I can get a burn on it before, outside of Trick Room, of course, before it's able to attack and break its sub. Everything else has been dumped into HP, and final note there, it can possibly burn Dragapult and Glastrier. This is, very useful in terms of damage reduction, as Bruneaux's team has high potential damage from both Dragapult and Glastrier. Next up, we've got Gigantamax Rillaboom coming back again this week, and the main reason for that is that Gmax Rillaboom's max move KOs Mimikyu straight through Disguise. Every time, no problem, no setting up Trick Room via Mimikyu. Likewise, it's just good major damage into Blastoise with Grassy Glide. Fake Out is useful for stopping Trick Room if we can secure terrain control, and to that end, we've got it set to underspeed Indeedee by 1 point exactly to win terrain if they both get sent out at the same time. So when terrain activates, the fastest Pokemon goes first, and then the slowest Pokemon activates second. So being slower than male Indeedee, who is a little bit faster notably than female Indeedee, allows us to win terrain control. Finally, I've got full points into attack and the remaining into HP for bulk. Here we are again with Togetic, a invaluable support option this week. So, notably, it survives most opposing moves the way it's EV'd, both physical and special, except the Max Lightning from Luxray. I did specifically EV it on the physical side to take less than half from a Dragapult Max Phantasm, so we can always take at least 3 of those. We gave it Yawn for sleep pressure, which can help force switches or cause my opponent's Pokemon to fall asleep. It basically puts my opponent in a difficult spot and having to make weird choices. Helping Hand, again, is on both Togetic and Entei, and it's always helpful for a burst of damage. And Redirection here, the idea is just to set up airstreams safely, and it also forces the use of weaker spread moves such as Dazzling Gleam on my opponent's Pokemon, which more easily proc weakness policy and let Moltres survive without taking too much damage, for example. And finally, once again, we've got Registeel coming back as a late game bulky monstrosity that cannot be stopped once my opponent's options have been exhausted. So I've made this one once again physically bulky for maximum body press damage, as well as the fact that most stab special moves from my opponent will be resisted, and most super effective hits will probably be physical. I'm thinking Flare Blitz and Close Combat. Likewise, I gave this an Iron Head set, whereas last week was a Flash Cannon set, and that's because if Trick Room gets set up, there are enough Pokemon here that are faster than Registeel that I can potentially get some flinches under Trick Room. And finally, it's a leftover set because it synergizes so well with grassy terrain and heals up a lot over time. Okay, that's all the Pokemon, and here go the battles. All right, here we go. Week 2 of the Georgia VGC Draft League. Found Bruneaux. Let's find out what he brought. Because, like I mentioned before, I am legitimately worried about how diverse his team is. So we're going to see what kind of modes he decided to go with. There's our team for this week, and let's go. Oh boy. Okay, so we did bring Blastoise and Centiskorch. Interesting. So they definitely want a Trick Room. Bruno super wants a Trick Room here. They didn't bring in Indeedee, so my Rillaboom speed is not relevant. They also didn't bring Mimikyu, which is fascinating. Actually, I can lead Rillaboom, right? And just kind of break through Mimikyu's disguise. So that's their main method of Trick Room setting here. As usual, sorry for the dogs, but not a whole lot I can do about that. I almost like Rillaboom Entei here, to be honest. Or Rillaboom Moltres. Like, Rillaboom's going to be key here. They have 2 ways of setting Trick Room. And I just need to not let the horse go crazy. So Rillaboom Entei is a good start. I think I'll put Togetic in the back for redirection after something goes down. And then what? Does Registeel make sense here? No, I think Moltres makes more sense. Yeah? Moltres or Dracozolt? Actually, Dracozolt makes more sense to me here, so that's what I'm going to do. So yeah, obviously this is incredibly Trick Room centric, and we're just going to do our best to deny that from going off. We'll have Fake Out Pressure, we'll have Taunt, we'll have Rillaboom being able to max and just break Mimikyu. Okay, but it's Liepard Hatterene, but that means that we can Fake Out. Ooh, he went he went shinies. I'm not fancy like that. All right, so I think Fake Out Snarl is how I want to start here. I know, like, I could even Roar. Roar won't work out here, but I'll Snarl. Okay, they didn't bother going for the max, which makes sense. They just went, you know what, that's brilliant. Because they just decided to go straight Trick Room, bluffing the max. That's smart, but Snarl has definitely cut their power there, so it's a good start for us. I can even like U-turn here. Do I U-turn? I don't think so. I glide the Liepard. I don't want to KO anything right now, though. That's the thing. So yeah, I'll just Glide Hatterene, get some damage on the board, and give it another Snarl. I could even maybe Helping Hand, because taking out Hatterene's pretty useful here. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. If this KOs, I guess I'm not 100% sure. There's fake tears. They decide not to max. Oh, they're worried about Entei. Okay. Glide does get the knockout. Okay, great. Good start, good start. So Entei has reduced stages of special defense, so I need to keep that in mind going forward. The question is going to be what comes out next here. Scent to Scorch makes sense. Okay. We still have 3 turns of Trick Room to get through. I did not put Protect on either of these Pokemon. Roar doesn't work on max Pokemon. Most likely they max here. But I think that'll be okay. We can Helping Hand and KO the Liepard here. No. We don't want to do that. KOing Liepard doesn't make sense here. And I'll just do a neutral Sacred Fire onto Scent to Scorch. Okay. Yeah, I was going to say I didn't want Glass Trader to come in for free, but I just let it get in for free. I should have... Oh, all right. Well, we can bring Togetic here. They don't have Trick Room now once Trick Room runs out. And I can make an attempt at burning. Like, they really want to max Quake, right? But I just want to Sacred Fire here and Protect. Because this way I can stall out some turns. They would have to double the Entei in order to take it down, and if they'll be afraid to use Max Quake here. Because I could just redirect that, right? So that's why I'm protecting instead of going for Follow Me, because I think they need to go for Icicle Crash or Max Hailstorm, and they are going to max. Great. They could just go for Max Quake here anyway, but it'd be a very risky play. Okay. Knuckle, interesting choice. Okay. Yeah, that's smart, because I'm going to be going for a burn, and they know that. I keep saying they, it's he. as far as I know, anyway. Oh, and knockoff. Okay. I do survive that, though, which is important. And Sacred Fire. I'm going to guess this will be... Oh, it's not Policy. We didn't get the burn either, but it's not Policy. That's important. All right, this turn I definitely Follow Me. And go for Sacred Fire again. The question is... Yeah, this is the last turn of Trick Room. I think we can get this. I put Yawn on Togetic, but I'm realizing I'm not always super comfortable with going for Yawn. Okay. Togetic, can you hang on? Nah, not a +1. Not with Stab. All right, so we lose both Pokemon here. They get another boost. Oh, they went Flare Blitz. I guess it's probably KOs, right? Yeah, okay. Okay, their Trick Room's over, though. They've got one more turn. They do have a lot of boosts, though, which is really scary. I think part of me wants to max guard here, but they could read that, right? But I also don't want to just get one shot. It's scary. It's very scary. I could go max Dragon, though, and take away some of their boosts. Yeah, one of their boosts. Like... now I'm wishing I put Protect on Rillaboom, but it's hard to fit it. But yeah, if I go fake out Max Wormwind here, maybe I can survive a hit. Let's find out. It's scary, though. It's very scary. If we can KO these two Pokemon, though, all he has is Liepard in the back at this point. The question is just whether or not we'll be able to. Just put that in my pocket rather than leaving it on the phone, on the table to make buzz buzz sounds all the time. Okay, so here's our Max Dracozolt. Here comes Max Wormwind. There's Fake Out, great. They did not protect. Yeah, they survive, so we need to take this hit. Like, we badly need to take this hit. Oh, they have it. Okay, they're Berry. Very interesting. Here's Hailstorm. Come on, survive at +1. We're maxed. We do not survive that. Okay. All right, game 1's going to go to him. I'll have to adjust. Because I don't think we can't beat Santa Scorch at this point. Not with Rillaboom. I suppose I should have max guarded there instead. I thought about doing it. I just was feeling pressured, you know. I am curious here. Can Glide KO at that range? I'm going to find out. Like, he knows I have Glide already. I'm not revealing anything. Okay, he made it very bulky. Which makes sense. I have a lot of physical attackers here. And yeah, what's just KOs, which also makes sense. It's at +1 stab. Okay, so game 1 goes to Bruneaux. I think we can come back from this, though. Like, next game I want to, I think, lead Rillaboom with Moltres. And I guess I feel like he can't really bring Mimikyu here, right? So let's do Rillaboom Moltres. I may put Registeel in the back this time. I don't think... I honestly feel like he needs to bring the same 4. I think Dracozolt was not the right call for me. I think we can do stuff with Togetic in this game. Like, Yawn could be really annoying, right? Yeah, maybe I do that. Like, Rillaboom Moltres puts on offense, like, right away, right? But slowing things down and going for Yawn instead feels like it could just be better. Right? No, I still have to... No, I don't think they're going to bring... it's so hard to choose. No, it's Rillaboom Togekiss and then Moltres and Registeel, I think. Because late game Registeel helps a lot into Glastrier, I feel like. Like, yeah, he's got close combat on it, but depending on what's still out, right, it makes a big, it'll make a big difference. Like, if it's Registeel plus Togetic, the close combat doesn't really matter. Oh, they did bring Mimikyu this time. Okay. Well, that's okay with me. So we can just one-shot Mimikyu straight through disguise, and whatever switches in is not going to appreciate taking that hit. I'm now wishing I hadn't put Hurricane on Moltres, though. Now that I think about it, like, I don't have consistent rain, but that's okay. Let's go ahead and Drum Soul the Mimikyu. Blastoise should not max here. It'd be fascinating to see Mimikyu max, but I don't think that's going to happen either. Yeah. There's Glastrier, okay. I could have yawned that slot, but I think it's okay that I didn't. Oh, what if they're Focus Sash? You know what? I just got baited, didn't I? This is a Focus Sash Mimikyu. This is about to be real bad. Okay, it's not. Whew, thank goodness. I got scared though. I got scared there for a second. Yeah, Blastoise comes back out here. I could see a Max Guard from last year. What do I think is in the back too? Like Scorch would still make sense to have in the back here. So I'm down to switch Togetic back in, or even, you know, Registeel's not bad to bring in right now. I'm gonna do that. And I will Drum Solo the Glastrier. I think Blastoise either switches or guards here. Glastrier probably wants to max, but I think Rillaboom can survive it. And if they Hailstorm Moltres, then Registeel just eats that up. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. This should still do a lot of damage. So they definitely do not max Blastoise here, right? Right? Okay, interesting. That is a surprise, not gonna lie. Here's Drum Solo. This will do a ton, but it's not gonna KO, I think. Yeah. It's a very strong move, though. And there's their berry. Let's see what they went for. Okay, they went Hailstorm with Blastoise then. Are they doubling me? Okay. That might KO. I think it's okay if it does, though. Oh, Swords Dance. Wow. Okay. Well, I'm gonna hit that again then. Rillaboom survives another Hailstorm. So I'm just gonna. Yep. Get all my HP back. Oh, actually, I'm not sure if I KO now. But I will Iron Defense. And Drum Solo. It'll be close, but I think it actually does survive here, which is fascinating. Not gonna lie, that Swords Dance is terrifying. It's not the end of the world, though. We can handle it, especially since Trick Room's not up. Yep, here we go. Yeah, it hung on by just a little bit. Oh, no, it didn't. Never mind. It's so hard to see sometimes, I swear. There's Cannonade into Registeel, presumably. Yeah, we don't take that much damage from it. Mind you, the damage over time is going to be a pain. But we'll see what they have in the back here. Like, I think we can still win against the, yep, there's the Vortex. There's the healing. There's their healing. And there's Vortex. And terrain and leftovers. Lots of extra effects this game. So I have a free glide into Blastoise here. Okay, it is Scorch. I almost want to switch here, right? I'll protect this turn with Registeel. I think switching Togetic feels okay here. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I did forget that Blastoise had a turn of max left, so that's a little scary. Yeah. Hailstorm makes sense, but it never KOs Togetic here, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. It hurts a lot, though, not gonna lie. Because of a crit. Okay. Yep, and there's Flare Blitz into my Protect. Now I can follow me Body Press, right? Oh, does Togetic? No, Togetic won't go down here. It's funny, two of the Pokemon that I was like the most concerned about did not come to this matchup. Okay. Vortex damage hurts. All right. Registeel is getting slowly chipped down here, which feels pretty not great. But I'll body press the Blastoise here. I should always survive. The question is, well, no, I'm just gonna follow me. I should always survive one of these hits. And we'll just get some damage onto Blastoise. But I probably do lose both Pokemon this game, or this turn, right? Because Vortex auto KO. There's Ice Beam. I guess it's a question of whether or not I survive Flare Blitz now. I'm at +2 defense, but I'm pretty low. Wow, Scorch is so strong. Okay. Yeah, not gonna lie, I did to at least some degree underestimate it. That said, I think we're still fine. No more grass, which is actually perfect timing because we're switching Rillaboom back in. The question really is like whether or not I want to fake out this turn. And I think I will. Like fake out Scorch. And I guess probably Fiery Wrath. Just because I'm damage down. Moltres should survive anything Blastoise wants to go here for. Go for here. I just need to not get frozen, which would... Yeah, okay. Protect makes a lot of sense. Okay. I guess they could just be going for a KO onto Rillaboom here. How much damage do we do? They could flinch as well. They do not. Oh, they went for Moltres. Great. That's exactly what I want to see. No more hail. We take some more chip, right? Yep. Okay. So at this point we glide. We glide Blastoise and just go, we just go Fiery Wrath again. It's feeling a lot like Blastoise does not have Protect. It hasn't clicked it once yet. So I'm wondering if it could be, it might be Assault Vest, right? Yep, that KOs. Great. So now it's a single target Fiery Wrath at +2. We'll do a ton of damage here. Although Scorch does survive that, but they go for Leech Life. I don't mind seeing that at all. They don't heal back enough for that to make a difference. They'll protect this turn for a little bit more recovery, but I don't think it makes any. I don't think it makes a difference here. Although for information management purposes, I could see a forfeit here because I think it's over no matter what. Yeah, protect for recovery. Okay. I mean, makes perfect sense, honestly. Playing to his outs, but I really don't think this heals enough for it to survive. Because we did like what, 80% to it or so. I could always misplay, I suppose, but Okay, they're trying to just heal up enough to be able to attack me. That makes a lot of sense, but it wasn't going to work out here. Okay, on to game 3 then. So obviously we have revealed that we do indeed know that Rillaboom can just one-shot Mimikyu through disguise, which not everyone remembers to do. But that means that they will not be going for the Mimikyu thing again. That said, Rillaboom is always like one of our lead Pokemon here. It helps invalidate a lot of things. The question is, what do I think they're going to bring along with that? Like, I could see another attempt at the Hatterene thing. And I don't have double fake out, which is scary. So instead, what? If they do the Hatterene thing, I could set up with Registeel, couldn't I? I may do that. I might just leave these two. Bring Moltres. And do I need Togetic here? Honestly, I'm not so sure that I do. I'll bring Entei in the back. Yeah, the Koba Berry was like the item I was least sure about on Rillaboom, and as it turns out, they just didn't bring Togekiss, which I was thinking was going to be a guaranteed thing. Honestly, this is not at all. This is pretty far from what I was expecting. Well, I mean, only kind of far, right? Like, I didn't feel like it was a great matchup for Centiskorch. All right, here we go. Yeah, I figured. That makes sense. So now I'm just trying to figure out, do they do the Max Guard Trick Room thing, knowing that knowing that I know what they did last time, right? And part of me wants to be real ballsy and just fake out Liepard anyway. And we'll Iron Defense. This probably won't work out the way I want it to, but honestly, having a Registeel under, yeah, okay, they did it again. That's fine with me, to be honest. Yeah. And I think I could even just Iron Defense again here. It's a little greedy, I suppose, but I think I'll be okay. And yeah, I'm U-turning this turn. I don't want to give him that free switch. Still going for it anyway. But it's fine though, right? Because now we're going to be at +4. There you go, Mystical Fire, which is a little scary. And a Rillaboom does not quite KO, which is nice, obviously. Life Orb is definitely painful. They have seen the Focus Sash on Entei, which is a little concerning. And for that reason, I'm considering maxing Entei, right? We know Glastrier is not weakness policy, so we can just go all out and attack it. But I really want to get rid of Hatterene. Like Max Flare Hatterene and Protect. I don't think, no, maxing Entei is not going to be the play. I'm going to go for Snarl here, and I'll just protect this turn with Registeel. Interesting. Okay. To Liepard. I mean, that is fine. Okay. They're going to Max Flare me then. We'll see how much damage this does. There's the max flare. It's still really significant damage, actually. Here's the sun. Honestly, though, now I can just... Part of me wants to try to go for a double here so we take less damage. Actually, after healing, it's not that bad, is it? Especially since we got it to -1. Yeah. Yeah, okay. So I want a Sacred Fire. And then Body Press. Barring a crit, we should survive with Registeel. Oh, right. Fake Tears. You know, I completely forgot about... Oh, interesting. They went for Entei, though, and they're going Starfall. We should survive this. It's resisted, right? Yeah, okay. I don't think I agree with that play. I think Fake Tears into Registeel and Max Flare is probably what they go for. But now we should, like, we're going to be in a really good spot now. Unless we miss here, I suppose. We'll find out. Yeah, Liepard just drops. We could always miss the Sacred Fire, but we don't. It doesn't quite KO, though, so that makes a difference. So the question here is going to be, do I allow Entei to go down? Oh, they have Blastoise. Huh. Okay. Oh, right. Fake Tears doesn't work on Registeel. Right. I have not revealed whether or not I have Extreme Speed, I just realized. So that's actually quite funny, because they could just max guard here thinking that I'm going to Extreme Speed him. I guess I'll Body Press the Blastoise. Actually, is there any reason not to protect this turn? I don't think so. Because it'll stop, like, it's the last turn of their max, right? Yes. Ooh, Shell Smash Blastoise. That's fun. Okay. Was this the last turn of Trick Room? I don't think it was it? Maybe it is, actually. It could be. White Herb, yeah. That makes sense. But we do Snarl here. Which brings Blastoise's power down a little bit. And if it's not the last turn of Trick Room here, then... Okay, yeah, it is the last turn. That's fine, though, isn't it? I'm not too concerned about it. I'm going for another Snarl, and I'll just Body Press into the Blastoise here. Something goes down here, I'm sure. But I'm not too upset about it if something does go down. But yeah, just the... Okay, here's Scald. They can't burn me, though, because they set up the terrain for us, which is obviously fantastic. It really doesn't do much damage either. Hatterene goes down as well. Let's see how much Body Press does here. It should do a pretty hefty chunk. Yeah, or just flat out KO. Awesome. We got this. We got the victory here. All they have now is Glastrier versus a +4 Registeel. Along with Entei, of course. So, Sacred Fire, Body Press should always get the win here. Did I max? I haven't maxed this game, have I? Oh, and that just one-shot, huh? Did we crit? No. Oh, it didn't quite one-shot, but it doesn't matter. All right, well, good game to my opponent. That'll be the week. Thank you all for being here. As always, I will be going through the 3 games here in a second, and yeah, see you over there. All right, so real quick, since I know this video is already pretty long, let's go ahead and do a quick breakdown of the battles. For match 1, my game plan did not work out super well. I was tricked and baited into faking out the wrong Pokemon. I think that was a valid choice, honestly, because it could have gone either way there. But then I decided, hey, I want to KO the Hatterene here, which I think was the wrong choice because it gave them a free switch into their Ice Horse. And from there, everything just went downhill, right? So that was definitely the mistake there, and I think the game 3 adjustment that I made was the most relevant to that, in the sense that I decided, okay, I can't call the correct fake out target, so I will fake out one of them and instead set up with Registeel, right? In game 2, victory was probably decided in the first turn, given that I could just one-shot the Mimikyu through Disguise. I'm not sure if my opponent forgot about that or was just faking a focus sash, thinking that I wouldn't go for that. But either way, when that happened and they weren't able to get up Trick Room, I had a much easier path to victory. And finally, game 3, like I mentioned before, the lead adjustment was huge. Being able to get Registeel up to +4 made it so that many of his Pokemon could not do anything to it. Notably, I was able to stall out his Dynamax and didn't even need to max my Pokemon just because Registeel is so incredibly bulky. So that was the correct call there, bringing Registeel. And yeah, those are the games, and we'll catch you next time. Like I said at the start of the video, hit like, it really helps support me, and comment below about what kind of content you'd be interested in seeing from me. And if you're new here, hit subscribe if you enjoyed yourself. All right, peace.